Products of prime powers in index form. What a gigantic title. Let's break it down. It says prime. A prime number is a number with exactly two factors. Like 3. There are only two numbers that go into 3. 1 and 3. A composite number is a number with more than two factors. Like 6. 6 has quite a few factors. 1 goes into it, 2 goes into it, 3 and 6 all go into it. The number 1 is special. The number 1 is not prime and it's not composite. It's its own special number. Now there is a rule, a really important rule of arithmetic. So important, it's actually called the Fundamental Law of Arithmetic, which says that every composite number can be written as a product of prime factors in exactly one way if you ignore the order. So we can write it as prime numbers multiplied together. You might see this called the prime factorization because we're breaking a number down into its prime factors, the numbers that go into it that are prime. Or you might hear it called the product of prime factors in index form. Do look out for this word prime or index. Little hint there. So as an example, we've got this big number here. It's a composite number, which is 600. Lots and lots of numbers go into it. And we want to break it down into its prime factors. There are two ways of doing this, and both ways are great and will work. So you choose whichever you prefer. The first way, you start with the number, and we're going to use repeated division and think, what's the smallest number that goes into 600 other than 1? The smallest number is 2. Okay, well, let's take out the 2 now. Let's divide by the 2. 600 divided by 2 will give us 300 left. And we do the same thing. What's the smallest number that goes into 300 other than 1? It's 2 again. And we divide 300 divided by 2 is 150. What's the smallest number that goes into 150 other than 1? It's 2 again. 150 divided by 2 is 75. I don't think we can do a 2 again. 2 doesn't go into this. What's the smallest number other than 1 that goes into 75? Well, 2 doesn't go into it. In fact, 3 goes into it. 75 divided by 3 is 25. 25, 50, 75. Smallest number that goes into 25 other than 1? 2 doesn't go into it, 3 doesn't go into it, 4 doesn't. Oh, 5. 5 goes into it. 25 divided by 5 gives 5. Smallest number other than 1 that goes into 5? Not 1, 2, 3. 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. You'll know that you're done because you end with 1. Okay, now we can see that 600 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. We will write this in index form. 2 cubed, that's 2 times 2 times 2, times 3 times 5 squared. So you can count how many times it appears, and if it appears once, don't write the 1 there, you can just leave it off. Another way to do the exact same thing, especially if you're not sure how to break it down to start with, is to use a factor tree, which is a bit more flexible. You write the number, and you just think of any two numbers that can multiply to give you 600. Like 6 times 100 will work. And we do the same thing. We break each of these down into a multiplication. 6 is 2 times 3. Okay. 100 is 10 times 10 will work. You keep breaking each of these down until you can go no further because you've got prime numbers. So this one is done. 2 is a prime. This one is done. 10 we can break down. 10 is 2 times 5. And I can break this 10 down as well. Once you've done that and you've broken them all down as far as they can go, you can circle these ending numbers, which are the prime numbers in this factor tree. Now, 600 is these numbers all multiplied together. 2 times 3 times 2 times 5 times 2 times 5. If you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can reorder them so that the 2's are next to each other. to make it easier to count. And now I can see that this 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 cubed. And then I have times 3, and I have 5 squared there. If you want more practice in this, then these questions here are some great ones to practice. Until next time.